You know, a trip off the eaten track wouldn't be complete without a wee detour to sample some of our state's top drops. There's not just wine to enjoy, but also a bounty of bubbles and an ample supply of amber ales. So come and join me as I jump feet first into the elixirs of Queensland.
Wine, the nectar of the gods, is very much a product of Queensland. There are 180 wineries in the state across 10 regions. The industry's capital is the Granite Belt, 3 hours southwest of Brisbane, where over 50% of the state's wine is produced.
When the Italians first settled here, they started growing grapes. They realised that the climate was just fantastic for growing fruit and grapes. And that's what they did. They planted grapes, they planted fruit trees. And of course, once they had grapes, what did they do? They made wine.
Angelo Pugliese from Ballindine Estate is a third-generation winemaker who has witnessed the industry's transformation.
The grapes was table grapes, but they made wine out of table grapes, and then eventually in the mid-70s or the early 70s, we started introducing all the proper varieties like Shiraz and Cabernet and Chardonnay. And we brought those varieties in, and of course now we've got a myriad of varieties of grapes and making really good quality wines.
Angelo's vineyards produce award-winning wine, and I'll have more on that later. First though, to the most impressive weeds I've had the pleasure of coming across.
Okay, look at these. Nice fresh ones here.
It's wild asparagus just growing just underneath the vines, Angelo.
Yeah. Well, look here. Look, there's a nice clump of them right here.
Nice.
Isn't that great? Some of them are a little bit past their prime, but we'll get the good ones. How's that? Just get the tips that are sticking up.
What fantastic quality, look at that.
I mean, these will be ready to pick again in 48 hours. Every 48 hours, you get a big basket full.
Incredible.
Wild food goes a-begging right across the region. All you need to know is what you're looking for and where to look.
Not only is there wild asparagus, there's also purslane, there's dandelion, there's nettles, there's wild watercress just right here at the side of the road.
Angelo's wife Mary utilises this seasonal produce in a range of recipes that have been passed down from family members. Her renowned asparagus fritters haven't budged from Ballindine Estate's cafe menu for an amazing 15 years. First, she creates a simple batter, blanches the asparagus, and then adds plenty of good quality parmesan.
How is it?
It makes me smile.
Oh, that's good.
The asparagus is sweet. Oh. It's sweet. It's still got its crunchiness.
That's right. That's the way I like it.
You just blanched it for a little while.
Just a little.
Texturally, it's crunchy on the outside. It's soft on the inside. Put the prices up.
Okay. All right.
What's the wine match for this?
Well, they say that Sauv Blancs are normally quite grassy. We couldn't get a better match.
Yep.
So I think the Semillon Sauv Blanc would be a perfect match for that.
2 glasses, bartender.
Ballindine Estate grows 25 different grape varieties over some 40 hectares. Wines can be sampled at the cellar door or matched expertly with the food at the estate's Barrel Room Cafe.
Tonight you're eating the pan-fried Renook Farm quail with crispy skin. It's served with cornbread, which is a traditional accompaniment with quail if you're eating it in southern Louisiana or something like that. And the spiced pear relish is a nice match to the 2009 Nebbiolo. It's got lots of fruity flavours and a lot of earth with the mixed spice. Cheers, guys. Bon appetit.
Thanks, Matty.
The Gamekeeper's Dinner is held several times a year. Set alongside century-old wine barrels, the atmospheric dining experience is only for the adventurous.
We've done unusual meals like wallaby, we've done goat, we do quail and duck, and sometimes they're flavours or styles of food that they've not tried before. And when we match them with the wines, it's just always a wonderful experience to have, even if you do it just once. But what we find is people don't do it just once, they come back every year, year after year.
Leanne is among the new crop of Pugleses, continuing the winemaking tradition.
Is there a good marriage then between game flavours and your wines here?
Absolutely, and when the styles change, like we've got new varieties like Nebbiolo or the Shiraz Viognier, it's a little bit exciting because we can create flavours in the kitchen that are a little bit different to what we normally do to suit the wines.
I gotta say to you that the atmosphere here, it doesn't feel like I'm eating in a restaurant. I feel with the barrels behind us, it feels like I'm part of the family.
Yeah, well, we like that. You know, that's something that the Puglisi family, I guess that's one of the things we try to do, and it's not something composed, it's just natural.
Yep.
And people are welcome to enjoy a meal at our table, and I think that's part of our Italian culture, and we love that. So it's all about food, good wine, and good friends.
Up next, I explore more of the Granite Belt with a man who knows a thing or two about a fine drop.
Pete, how many varietals can you name me that begin with M?
Monastrell, Mataro, Mourvedre, Mongo, only 3.
Queenslanders are way behind the 8 ball when it comes to wine. Not when it comes to making wine, but when it comes to consuming our own. And I reckon it's high time that we followed the rest of Australia and really started to truly appreciate some of the amazing drops that are growing right here in our own sunny backyard.
In the past, we've been guilty of considering our own wine inferior to those down south, but things are slowly changing, according to the Queensland chairman of Sommeliers Australia, Peter Marchant.
And how do they compare nationally?
Recently, these wines, in particular these sort of wines, are getting scores that are equal to some of the best wines in the country. So we're starting to stand up on the national stage.
Hidden amongst the boulders, Borean Winery is a gem worth seeking out. Self-taught winemaker Peter Stark produces only 800 cases a year, and his wine is in such high demand across Australia that he frequently runs out.
We've got that really wonderful, intense character there of black fruits and red fruits and this nice little underlying spice. And one of the things about this region in particular, and Borean's so good at, and the thing with this rocky place and the rocks in the soil, it gets this wonderful mineral character into the wines, and it gives the wine so much structure and so much more than what other regions can give it. So that's what makes the Granite Belt so unique.
The region is home to a diverse bunch of wine producers and offers up everything from boutique cellar doors to large-scale operations.
And a place like the Granite Belt is even more important because we're at 1,000 metres, one of the highest vineyards in Australia. There's other vineyards in here on the Granite Belt around 580 metres above sea level. We've got huge variances of altitude, and consequently our Cabernet and Shiraz will require different treatment and have totally different expression of flavours as it will be to a lower vineyard.
Symphony Hill owner Ewan McPherson describes his wine as music to the palate. He's responsible for the 2003 Shiraz, bestowed with Queensland's very first gold medal at the Sydney Royal Wine Show.
You know, and I gotta say, when I'm in a barrel room such as this, there's just a real sense of sort of anticipation, but also of patience and passion. And
it's great to come in here. Unfortunately, I am an impatient man, but I've learnt how to be patient, waiting for these wines to mature. I love coming here, seeing all the barrels and all the various varieties. We've got Nebbiolo and Tannat and Barbera and Petit Verdot and Tempranillo, I like saying that word, and all sorts of different alternative varieties, which is good fun.
Not only is there plenty of research going into unusual varieties, but also the next generation of budding winemakers. The Queensland College of Wine Tourism's $8.5 million facility teaches everything from viticulture to hospitality.
don't burn the bechamel and no lumps.
It's this investment, plenty of passion, and a little of our support that's going to see our wine industry go from strength to strength.
The big thing with the Granite Belt region and the other Queensland wine regions is people shouldn't expect exactly the same as somewhere else, because we're talking about a completely different structure of everything, the geography of the place, the terroir, as the French like to call it. The soil's different, you know, the rainfall's different, the sunlight's different. So
it's chilly.
Absolutely, yeah. So the wine made here is going to taste different to somewhere else, and that's going to taste different to the next place. So that's the big thing, is that it's not going to be the same as somewhere. It's not better or worse, it's certainly going to be different.
Wine isn't the only fine drop being produced in the Granite Belt. An excess of apples has created a business in cider that's also top of its game.
Are we taking to cider? Are we drinking it more?
Yes, I think so. I think more people look for it. We get people coming to our business that they've heard of cider, they think, okay, they'll give it a go, and certainly there's a lot more people try it now than used to.
Apple juice at the Sutton's Orchard is turned into a range of sweet and dry cider using age-old techniques.
But what we've done with this lot, it's actually been, the tanks were brought out into the orchard, and so we've actually let them be inoculated with the wild yeast. Sometimes it can be wrong. In the case of this one, it was obviously very right. Most of them are right. But there are actually thousands of wild yeast cells in the air, in amongst the apples, so we get the benefit of those and get the benefit of the different flavours.
What are you tasting there, Pete?
Apples, Mr. McLeod, first and foremost, but I mean, it's just got this wonderful, clean, fresh flavour and just absolutely perfect for a Sunday afternoon or with a plate of cheese or something along those lines. Just absolutely wonderful.
It's so fresh.
Absolutely.
Cheese flavours.
Feeling very, very manly.
Well, that's good. We're glad to hear that.